Welcome to another How Does That Work video. Thank you so much for your comments and suggestions on the last video. I hope you enjoyed it. Have you ever wondered how glass is made? Today I'm going to be asking, how does that work?
So, making glass. How does that work? Well, glass is an amazing material, and we see it all around us. We see it in our windows, on the windows of big, tall skyscrapers, the windows of cars and buses, and around our homes, in bottles and in the glasses that we drink out of. And glass can even be used to create stunning pieces of artwork. Glass is a fantastic material because not only is it hard and strong, but it's also durable and it's also transparent, which means that light can pass through it. This comes in very handy. Think about the windows in your house. Not only are they great for letting light in, but you can also see what's going on outside. This is especially useful, think about in a car or a bus. Having a material that you can see through means that the driver can see where they're going. And because glass is strong, it's not likely to break easily as well. But where does glass come from? What's it made of? Because you don't see glass in nature, do you? It's not something that you can look around and see. The things that we've made of glass are man-made. So what's glass made from? Well, if you've been lucky enough to go to the beach, a desert, or even just a good playground, you'll know this material as something that gets stuck between your toes, gets in your sandwich, and in fact gets just about everywhere. Yes, of course, I am talking about sand. It's funny to think, isn't it? We don't think of sand as something that's a particularly useful material. And when we look at it, it doesn't really look like glass, does it? It's certainly not see-through, and it's made up of lots of tiny, tiny little rocks. It's hard to think that sand could one day become a car windshield or a glass on your table. So how does sand get from being sand to glass? Well, actually, it's quite a simple process, and it involves heating the sand up until it's really, really hot and adding just a few extra ingredients, a few other types of rocks. So here's our sand. We pop it in a furnace and it heats up to almost 1,600 degrees. That's about 50 times hotter than a really, really, really hot day in England and about 8 times hotter than your oven at home can go. Soon, the sand begins to melt and you get a lovely golden, honey-like soup of molten sand. Notice how it's glowing white because it's so hot. Here's where things get really fun, because the sand gets so hot that now it's turned into molten glass, which means that we can pour it. And again, you can see that lovely honey-like colour and consistency. When the glass is liquid and stretchy, this is a really good time for us to make something with it. Because as soon as it goes hard, if we try and change its shape, then it's just going to crack. Most of the things around your home and that you see that are made of glass are made by machines. And there's some pretty cool machines that do the job. Have a look here. These are some machines that are making bottles. You can see that what starts out as a big long rod of hot glowing glass slowly starts to become, in lots of steps, a bottle. And you can see down here that even when the bottle shape has been formed by squashing and squeezing the glass and blowing air into it, you can see that it's still so hot that it's glowing red. When it cools down, it will be normal, clear, transparent glass, but while it's still hot, it still glows. Here's another huge machine that's making some glass. It's making one big long sheet of glass. This is the sort of thing that your windows will be made out of. And when the glass has been made, more machines are likely to be the thing that use the glass. This is a car production line, and these are the sorts of machines that help put glass into cars. But not everybody who wants to make things out of glass uses machines. And in fact, there's some pretty cool things that people do with glass that don't involve machines at all. Have a look what's going on here. Up in the top left, you can see somebody heating up some glass so that it starts to become molten again, which means it starts to become bendy and stretchy. And then have a look here. This person has blown through this tube into a hot ball of glass, making air inside and turning it into something useful that you can pour something into. And to decorate it, they're spiraling around this gloopy string of glass to make a beautiful pattern. Have a look at these as well. Again, up here, somebody has added something to the glass to make this beautiful, pretty colour. And down here, somebody is heating up the centre of this piece of glass so that it starts to become stretchy again and they can pull it. It's really funny, isn't it, to think that glass, which is normally so hard and so brittle, which means it breaks easily, can be something that's stretchy and bendy when we heat it up. So, next time you pour yourself a glass of something to drink, or you're looking out of the window on a bus, stop and notice the glass. And next time you fancy a trip to the beach, remember that the beach has in fact already made a trip to you.
Well, that's it for today. Keep smiling, keep asking questions, keep wondering to yourself, how does that work? See you again soon.